KM6SRR, you around and about yet? Rob, WA6LOL. Hello, test 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, 1, 2, hello.
KE6VON.
How's it going, Adam? K6USY.
It's going. At least this is getting in. It's weird. I was trying to get in on the VHF side on my other antenna, on my dual bander, and I could not hit VHF for squat. I couldn't hit Deadwood tonight.
Yeah, the conditions are kind of weird. I was listening to the beacon down at Tehachapi, and it's barely coming in. So I think with just the rain and the system coming through, it's causing weird things.
Yeah, I think something's up because I walk outside with my HT and was able to hit Deadwood no problem, but I couldn't hit it off of an antenna 20 feet up in the air pushing 50 watts of power.
Yeah, time to check those SWRs.
Yeah, but UHF comes in crystal clear. That's what's weird.
So that's going into the 1.8 repeater?
Yeah, I was trying to get in on the 1.8 repeater, and then I flipped over to Meadow, and Meadow UHF comes in clear. Meadow VHF is I can hit it, but it comes in weak.
No, hopefully that side of the radio's not dead.
Yeah, I know, especially after someone was telling me about Yezus.
Well, just add it to the list.
Well, that's my FTM 400.
Well, there's a couple ways to test stuff, but yeah, hopefully you don't have to send it back to them.
Yeah, I hear they're really a peach to deal with.
Yeah, the last time I had to send a radio back was ICOM, and that was a long time ago.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I'm going to get the V710 down off the shelf and hook it up and see how it does.
Yeah, good plan. So I'm sitting here, I'm playing with a 220 900 meg radio that one of the local hams gave me, and I just slapped a better antenna on it. So I'm figuring out how in the world do you program memory channels on this thing.
Nice. What kind of radio?
It's an Alinco handheld. It's a very weird product. It's the DJG29T, and it only does 220 and 900. And Diamond specifically made a replacement antenna for this handheld that does those two bands. The antenna that came with the radio was falling apart, and it's of course it's a dinky little rubber duck. So I'm like, well, let's at least put a better antenna on it and see how it does.
That's funny. I know exactly what radio that is because I was just looking at it. I just sold the sister radio to it, which was 2 meters, 440, 1.2 gig.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah, it's the programming on that thing is weird. It really frustrated me, and that was one of the reasons I decided, nope, 1.2 gig ain't for me with this radio. I'm getting rid of it. So I got my money back out of it, throwing it up on eBay.
Yeah, so the first problem I was running into is if it's in automatic repeater mode, you can't set a manual shift, and the 900 meg repeater has a weird shift on it. Well, I finally figured out how to get into the menu and take it out of auto repeater, and now I can manually set the shift.
Yeah, the shift was funky on it.
Here, Mikey, K6USY 1079.
I hear you, and I'm not sure who the other voice is. Is that Adam?
Hey, affirmative. KE6VON, 1040.
Gotcha, 1040. You're both very strong up here. Good to hear you. I just walked in.
971. KM6, SRR, 432.
Kilo Golf 6, Charlie Echo Fox.
W6BBS 72.
Kilo 6 Victor Bravo Golf 971.
Okay, I got most of you. Let's see, did I hear KG6 Charlie Echo Fox? Did I hear you, Daryl?
Yes, you did. I'm here. I hope you can hear me.
Okay. W6BBS, KE6VON, K6USY, KG6 Charlie Echo Fox. Did I hear Rob in here?
VBG.
K6BBG.
And KM6SR.
Okay, good evening to everybody. Everybody sounding good?
KZ5DTU.
KK6, KB6RQU, Bozo 61. Hi, Rick. Able 6 Sugar in here also.
Good evening, Rick. KB6RQU, KM6SR. Yep, sounding good.
Yeah, KM6SRR. Good evening, Rob. Sounding good too here. Over.
All right, we got some local guys who might want to speak to you. Good evening to, let's see, we'll start out with Dave and Frank and Carrie, Terry, and Bill, AA6S.
I got everybody in here. AA6S 800. Terry, KC5BTU 712. Good evening to you, Rick, KB6RQU 61. Rob, KM6SRR. I think I got everybody. Okay. Anybody who wants to say hello to Rick down there, go to it. K6MYC Bozo Net.
I got my antenna over to say hi to Rick there. KB6RQU. It's coming around. KB6RQU, AA6S, over. Yeah, good evening, Bill. AA6S, and you don't even have to come around. I hear you there just flying off the back, over. Yeah, Roger. Well, you're super strong here, and everybody else is too. KB6RQU, hope you got a little bit of rain there, not too much, and hope everything's going okay. KB6RQU, AA6S, over. Yeah, KB6RQU, everything is going pretty good here, and I did have some water in my rain gauge. I forgot to go check it out, though. That sounds good. Let's see who else is in here going to give you a shout. Over to whoever wants to give Rick a shout there, AA6S. KB6RQU, who's there?
I'm surprised to hear Dave in here so early. Good evening to you, Dave. You were in here early. Last night you were late, but hope you're feeling okay.
Well, I'm here. I'm about feeling okay, but, I'm recouping from my trip down south, so let's put it that way. I'll take another couple of days.
Okay. How do you get down there? Just drive down?
Yeah, we drove down. Spent 2 days down there. Yeah, hotel, bed, sock, and, the whole thing.
Okay. And, Frank, how did you do today?
I don't know. I slept through most of it. Hi. Let's see. The concrete's poured on the 3 anchors for the mast for the beacons, and the bottom 5 feet is in it, and it has about a 12-foot mast
sticking out of the top of that first 5 feet. That's all mounted. And the egg beater for 432 is on the very tippy top of that. And, of course, the feed line's hooked to it. It's not running the building yet. And inside the building, there's now a shelf there for everything to go on. And the 847 sitting there, a Keyer sitting there, what do you call it? Not rig blaster, but Signalink USB interface is sitting there. A few other odds and ends are sitting there. And I was putting parts and pieces together for the cross boom on the bottom of that piece of mass that's sticking up. So I made good headway. The project isn't finished by all means, but made good headway. And a few more hours out there, and I should have the first beacon up and running. Over.
Yeah, very good, very good. We didn't get that much rain. I could have worked all day outside. I was in the barn, but boy, toward the end of the day, around 3:30, started to get real cold, and I wound it up. Got in the house by 4, and it was starting to get nippy. It didn't get that much colder, but it was, the wind came up a little bit, and that made it cooler. Anyway, I didn't do too bad. I got some things organized on the shelves in the barn, but not completely. I'm still trying to decide what to do with some of that stuff. Way too much electrical stuff, and of course it's jammed in behind there. I can't get too much of it without moving those cabinets out of the way.
Whiskey 6, Papa Mike Delta, DM13.
Yeah, Roger that. Well, we can work on all that tomorrow or whatever you want.
It'll be a 6 p.m. due. Stand by. We'll be right with you. 47, Pat.
Able 6 Sugar, Pat. AA6S, number 800. You're loud. AA6 Sierra.
All right, let me hold on. 800, let me catch 133. Courtney, got you in there. Bozo 133, got you in there loud and clear.
Hey, Pat, Bozo 432, KM6SR. Thank you.
KB6RQU, Bozo 61.
Roger. Okay, well, we got 3 guys in there. We got Courtney checked in, 133. And let's see, Rob, hang on. Bill, AA6 Sugar. Man, Boone Signal, S9 down there this evening. S9 there, Bill.
Roger. Thank you for the report. You're good here, too, also. Have a good one there, Pat. AA6 Sierra.
All right, man. Thanks for checking in down here. That's our points number. And Rob, KM6SRR, number 432, you're also loud this evening. Got you logged in.
Rob?
Yeah, Pat started to fade out on me there. I got my call sign, so I know he's got me checked in. Over.
He said you're checked in, and of course 47 is here. Good evening, Pat. You're down a bit, but no problem. W6PMD in the group, K6MYC.
K6MYC, Bozo 47. This is Whiskey 6. Papa Mike Delta, Bozo 58.
USL 58, we got you.
Conditions aren't real hot tonight. Kind of up and down a little bit here, but we got you guys logged in. And appreciate it, sir, Mike.
Roger. Did you get, listen for 61, did you get 61?
Bozo 61, yeah, we just was looking for you there a second ago. Rick, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing just fine. Good to hear from you.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, I heard you called down this way about 5 minutes ago, and I was trying to make the contact in Santa Barbara, but the signals in Santa Barbara is pretty weak. I'm glad we got you on the book, Rick.
Very good. I know where to look for you now when you're pointed up towards Santa Barbara.
Yeah, absolutely. Around 8:30, 8:35 is generally when I'm looking in that direction. Not so very tonight.
Hey, thank you. 73.
73. All right, anybody else while I'm looking up towards the Central Valley? This is W6TMG, Bozo 58, DM13, Southern California.
W6PMD, K6MYC. 6 meters opened up real strong here earlier this afternoon. Signals 25 and 30 over 9. You might tell your people to watch out for that kind of an opening on 6. That usually, when the signals get that strong, you're very close to an E opening on 2 meters. I went over and called on 144-200. that's the place to go if you have any indication that you've got an E-skip opening. But West Texas and Albuquerque were just pounding in here. We didn't hear anything on 2 meters, but maybe because nobody's aware of what you do when you get a big, strong 6-meter opening.
Yeah, Roger, Mike, I got most of that. Yeah, there was a 6-meter opening last night also in 6-8, so I'll go ahead and go back to the vertical here and we'll pass the word to get 6 meters. In fact, I'm going to see if I can check into your Monday night 6-meter net next Monday. I've got it on my list. Maybe you'll be able to hear me here with a couple of 100 watts maybe. K6MYC, Bozo 47, W6PMD, Bozo 58, 73, Mike.
Roger, the net on 6 meters starts about 8:15 after we get done with 222. 8:15 to about 9:15, somewhere in there will be pointed down your way. Listen for Rick, over. Okay, that's on Monday night at about 8:15 to 9:15. 73 Pat, W6PMD, K6MYC. Okay, anybody else here in the San Joaquin Valley? K6MYC Bozo Net.
N6SWR, Bozo number 247. I'm here and listening.
Well, hi there, Ben. You might also want to check in with Pat down below, but you may have already done that. N6SWR, good to hear you. We missed you last week or so. Did not hear you in the contest. We could have used you in the contest, but Rick did a pretty good job for us. N6SWR in the group, K6MYC. Go ahead, Ben.
Roger. Yeah, no, I haven't talked to Pat, and I was preoccupied over the weekend with way too many things, including a car show and stuff, so I was not on the radio.
Roger. Rob, you copying Ben? Rob, are you copying Ben? Okay, anybody else want to say hello to Ben in Bakersfield?
Yeah, N6SWR, AA6S. Good evening, Ben and Bill from Visalia. N6SWR, AA6S, over.
Roger, AA6S, you're loud and clear into the B-town here. Very strong signal, N6SWR.
QSL there, Ben, take care. N6SWR, AA6S. Good evening. Back to net.
N6SWR, KB6RQ,
KB6RQU, you're real loud. You're up there in Isabella, correct? Mount Mesa area?
Yeah, just outside Isabella, there, Weldon area, over.
Did you say Weldon?
Yes, sir.
Roger. Well, to me, that's all about a half a mile apart, so it's all the same.
Yeah, just a few mountains in between there.
Roger, yeah, no, you're loud and clear as well.
Very good, Ben. 73.
73 is best to you. N6SWR, back to net.
Okay. Very good. Let's see if there's anybody else in the San Joaquin Valley before we get Bill to go over there and wake up W6QUI. I don't hear anybody else here, Bill, so let's go toward Tascadero.
Yeah, Roger. I had an email, or not an email, a voicemail, whatever you call it. Ron could copy Joe on CW, but Joe couldn't hear him on 1296. Go ahead.
It wouldn't surprise me. 600 watts working against 10.
Roger. Anyway, it got him motivated. I think he's probably, when the weather gets better, he'll get some more power and probably get his other antennas back up.
Yeah, that'll be good. Let me see. Mike, are you in here tonight? Did I miss you? WA6AAJ. Mike, are you here? Where's your buddy?
I don't know. I talked to him on the phone. I know he's going to come here Friday, and we're going to work on antennas. I better not turn it too far. I might get weak. I was going to go around towards Ron's there. he's got some about 1922 Magnavox audio amp that you hook to a crystal set he wants to check out. One of the transformers is open, and he's got some of the replacement jobs you can put inside. So anyway, we'll see what happens there. And I'm still working on my ancient 10-tube super hit. And the other day, I actually had it jury-rigged and had it on, and it was working pretty good. I couldn't believe it. K6MYC, AA6S.
What's the name of the super hit?
Oh, it's a Norden Hauk. Probably something nobody's ever heard of. And it used to be called the finest radio you could get. I have the TRF version, and now I have the super hit thing I'm putting together. Both of them are 10-tube. It has 3 RF stages and 2 stages of IF and a couple stages of audio, and of course an oscillator is a separate tube. So it's got plenty of parts in it. I was going to get it if I ever get the thing all back together. It's all put in some little tiny compartments, and I literally had to cut the front chassis in 2 with my shear because it was impossible to work on. So anyway, it looks like it's going to work there, Mike. Go ahead.
Yeah, Roger. Well, it sounds like in Visalia they're going to have to put a new power station in for you to run those 2 radios, over.
No, they don't pull that much juice. I think it pulls 2.5 amps at 6 volts and about 40 mils at DC, but they got various voltages. But anyway, it doesn't use that much juice, but it does work. I listen to KCBS with the thing in the living room at night, but of course there's no AGC, so the signal's going up and down, so's the volume. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. It might be better with the super hit. The TRF is going to do that.
Yeah, they're both the same vintage. Neither one of them's got AGC. These are 1925.
I guess they didn't know what the letters Alpha Golf Charlie meant, huh?
They didn't know what AGC was in 1924.
That's what I say. Okay. Very good. No, we can hear you when you spin that way. You don't hear me well, but I hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll continue on going around and see if he's there. Coming up on 240, which is about there. Anyway, you're round tonight, Ron. W6QUY, AA6S, over.
Yeah, I'm here, Bill. Good evening. I see you got my voicemail. Yeah, that was interesting. It was extremely weak that I could hear a CW in there, so I was impressed that I heard anything. So he said he was having, said the band was weird last night because you were blasting in and then you almost dropped completely out of the picture and then you come back up. So you were fighting propagation issues also, I think.
Yeah, it could have been. I was copying him all the time, but he's got 1 antenna and I've got 4. So I think I copy him better than he copies me. Ron, go ahead.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Anyway, we had a good chat on the phone anyway. At least we could coordinate it. Yeah, that was interesting. I guess I had to get some more antennas up here. However, QRP 1296 sounds interesting.
You got to get yourself an amplifier. I know you can afford one. Get one.
I like to build things. I don't like to buy things.
You know, I've got one of those kind that's got a pair of 4X 250s in it. That you remember the one made by K2RIW? Well, I got it at the swap meet because I built one from scratch, and this is actually a factory one, but it needs to be taken apart and cleaned up and put together. If you want it, I'll give the thing to you. It's got the tubes and everything in it. It was a factory-made 4X 250 parallel amp. I built one. They do about 500 to 600 watts output. If you want the thing, I'll give it to you.
No, I wouldn't turn that down as long as it's got tubes in it. Okay, that sounds very interesting. I got plenty of power supplies and stuff if it doesn't have any.
I forgot, this is 432. I've got a 1296 amp that Bill gave me from over there, but it's got a single 800 in it, which is brand new. I guess I could give it to you with a tube in it, but it's ready to go. I ended up buying this solid state thing, but it'll do 800 watts out on 1290. No, wait a second. Now it's 432 also. What's the matter with me? I don't have any 1296 amps. What's the matter with me? I'm going crazy. It's a 432, guys, so I've screwed up there. You have to get one of those single 7289 things that Chip makes and put one of those together, Ron. W6QUI A6S.
Is Eric on tonight? Ron, K6MYC in the group.
Yeah, there's Mike in there giving you a call. Give him a shout, Ron.
Okay, I hear you, Mike. I hear you guys no matter where you point. In fact, I could hear you talking to Joe last night when you were pointed to him, Bill. Anyway, good evening, Mike, W6QUI.
Yeah, Roger, good evening, Ron. What I asked you if was Eric in there tonight. Is KN6EIV around?
I don't know. I talked to him afternoon. He was mobile, but he didn't say anything about whether he's going to get on or not. So I guess I could technically check him in because I know he's in the area.
Alrighty, very good. I haven't heard anything from KB6WRW lately either.
Neither have I. He can't get on all the time. He's pretty tied up with things, but he surprises us sometimes.
Okay. Well, good luck with working up there to down there to K6ZMW, and also I know ZMW is also trying to work up here and catch up with KW6S. They're very close also. They both have 600, which helps a lot, but it's still a very tough path for them. Alrighty, we'll let you go. See if anybody else wants to say hello to you before we move up to the Monterey area. Anybody else for Ron there this evening? K6MYC Bozo Net. All quiet on the Western Front.
That sounds like it. Okay, well, 7-3's over there, and catch you guys Sunday, I guess. W6QUI.
Yeah, okay, we'd like to have you on Thursdays, but I guess you can't make it.
KM6SR.
Okay, go ahead, Ron. Rob.
Yeah, Ron, W6QUI, KM6SR. We're downstairs eating, so I wanted to say hi.
Yeah, good evening, Frank. No, wait, I got the right guy here. Rob, I'm sorry. Anyway, good evening. I thought I heard you call me last night. I answered, but apparently you weren't copying me.
Huh, okay. Yeah, we had a lot of skip going on last night, so it was a really interesting evening. Over.
You were quite weak, so I don't think you were pointed this way. Anyway, good evening to you. Q5 signal here tonight. Okay, well, 7-3's, let the net continue there.
Hi, Ron.
Ron, A6S. The wife and I will be over there around 4th, 5th, 6th, or something like that. I'll give you a call on the phone, and maybe one of the days we'll be over at Morro Bay. We could come back that way and say hi to you.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, just give me a little heads up.
Yeah, I will. I'd like to meet you there. We're going to go see Bill Bailey also, and see what he's up to. I'm still trying to get his 1296 thing back on. He just needs to get somebody to help him lift the tower up or something. But anyway, we'll give you a shout, and I can get on low band mobile, but not. I can get on 6 meters, I think, mobile. That's about it. W6QUI A6S.
I don't have any 6-meter antennas. I got a rig that'll work there, but no antennas up.
Now, you got anything on 80 or 40 or 10 or something?
Oh yeah, 160, 80, 40, and then I have a full-size 160 loop that I can load up anywhere.
Yeah, we'll figure out what frequency works. That way, at least I can talk to you. I got 100 watts in the car there with one of those Yaesu things and one of those remote tuned antennas. It works pretty good. Nothing like being here at the house, but it does do a good job. I'll let the net go, and I'll head over towards Monterey there. W6QUI. Good afternoon. Good evening, Ron, AA6S.
Yeah, I'll use the phone first, and then we can go from there.
Oh, Roger, definitely.
Okay, 7-3, good luck up north, sir.
Good evening, Ron. WA60IB.
Well, they're coming out of the woodwork here. Good evening, Ken. WA60IB, W6QUI.
Yeah, good evening to you, Ron, and the rest of the guys. Good evening, Mike. Just got out here. We managed to make it into the shop there. Okay, wanted to say hi. There, you still got a 10/9 signal here, so good solid signal. WA60IB.
Oh, yeah, you're about the same over here. Okay, good to hear from you.
Yeah, Roger, I'm on the back side, but I hear you. Go ahead, KB6RQU, AA6S. Yeah, Ron, you still on frequency?
Roger.
Turn your antenna towards Bakersfield and see if you can hear RQU. He said he's copying you.
Okay, tell him to go ahead and call, and I'll peek on him.
Okay, go ahead and call him, and he'll move into his antenna and peek it on you.
Like they're making it all okay. Let me call towards Santa Cruz and Monterey. WA6 London, India, Echo, WA6LIE. WA6LIE or W6 Toasted Peanut Butter, K6MYC. Anybody around there in Monterey?
Hey, very good evening to you there, Mike. Very good copy here, considering the weather conditions and all that. You're sounding great, and I'm listening, streaming on YouTube, and it sounds like I'm sounding pretty good too. Over.
Yeah, good copy, no problem. And good to hear you. Excuse me, I've got a tickle in my throat here. Okay. And I hear you, Dane, WB6JMP. We've got you checked in, Dane. Hang on a second. We get up a little more your way, we can hear you better, and then we'll you can call in again. Anyway, good to hear you, Scott, and I'm sure you're taking advantage of some of the nice 6-meter stuff that's going on. Band has been open almost every day. I worked quite a few people today on phone on 125. I worked in Albuquerque and Texas. Heard some other places. And the West Texas station, 100 watts and 3-element Yagi was 25/9 here, legitimate. So I started to make noise on 2 meters, 144-200, because it very possibly could have been open. But nobody's paying attention to 144-200 anymore. They don't understand when the signals get up around 30/40/9 on 6, you probably have a 2-meter opening. WA6LIE, K6MYC in the Bozo Net, over.
Okay, very good, Mike. Well, I'm glad you were able to make as many contacts as you did, because a lot of people are moving over to FT8 now, and FT8 will be jam-packed, and I'll go down and scan the sideband frequencies in 125 and up, and you don't hear a signal without CQs, get nobody back, go over to FT8, and the band's pretty noisy, but it all depends upon the signals, like you said, because FT8, you're looking at signals you wouldn't even hear unless they were on CW, and you wouldn't hear them on sideband. So, at any rate, I've taken bands to the openings, and I've worked over in the Midwest and here and there, but no VK or ZL or no Clipperton. Although I was just trying to work Clipperton right now on 160 meters. They're coming through great on 160, so I was trying that on CW, and I don't know, I probably called about 30, 40 times easily. And not a peak, but it was really, really super busy on 160. Of course, he's listening up about 5 or so. But at any rate, yeah, I've been taking advantage of the openings while they're here. I worked quite a few stations, but I wish it was a little bit better there, Mike. Over.
Well, yeah, the FT8 signals I've heard the last few days are right up against the top of the screen. They're super strong, S9 more, and multiple. So many down there, it just spreads out. It's about 10, 15 kilohertz wide. FT8 signals, very, very strong, very loud stuff. I'm surprised you haven't had lots of loud ones. And the TS5X has been on there, Tango X-Ray 5S, Ray Sugar, has been on FT8 on 6 meters. Also, they're doing moon bounce on 1296 and moon bounce on 6 meters on 50.189. So maybe you can catch them there, horizon to horizon. Anyway, have you heard Steve on tonight, toasted peanut butter?
No, I haven't heard Polar Paper Bandit on yet tonight, but you might be out there working. But yeah, it's been really busy during the day on 6 meters, because I've been working during the day. So, you know, when I get home after 3:30, then things will change a bit. So, well, Mike, sounds like my signal's being a little bit weaker. Anyhow, give me a call, and I'll keep listening on 6. Hope for the best. WA6LIE. Good evening.
Okay, good evening, Scott. W6TPB, are you there, Steve? Over. Looks like he's working tonight. All right, I'm going up to Santa Cruz. 73. We'll see you on Sunday night. WA6LIE, K6MYC, going to Santa Cruz.
K6MYC, KW6S.
I can't hear you. I'm kidding, of course. KW6S, K6MYC, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Yeah, they just popped up, spotted on 6 meters, TX5 sugar, and so I'm probably going to move my antenna down there. Haven't had any luck working them yet, but I did work them on 80 meters, which was a new one for me. K6MYC, KW6S.
What frequency are they using for FT8?
On 6 meters, they're 50.313.
50.313, right in this classic pile-up area. You're breaking up for some reason, or am I breaking up?
Other frequencies, but it's unclear whether it's... I know at one point they had used 50.189 and FT8. I don't know if that was moon bounce or they would just take anybody they could hear.
Oh, 189 now is dedicated to moon bounce, apparently.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but I'm just looking at the spotting reports, and I don't know. I haven't heard them yet, so but I keep listening.
Well, good luck with them.
Yeah, and I'll start poking around on 2 meters. I hadn't really thought of that. I usually think of tropo season for 2 meters.
Well, when I see signals at 25 and 30 over with a 100-watt 3-element Yagi at 20 feet, I start looking for E-skip, and it probably was open somewhere. If we'd had another kilowatt and a big Yagi on the other end in West Texas, we probably could have made a contact. Over.
Yeah, and there's probably some of those in West Texas. So, yeah, I'll poke around. I really was concentrating on TX5S today, but tomorrow I think I have some time open, and I'll point east a little bit more.
Okay. See if Lee is in here. See if he's got making any headway with the 432 antenna. KB6 Lima Echo Echo K6MYC.
K6MYC, KB6LEE. Unfortunately, I've been out of the shack for a couple of days here. Actually had an eye doctor appointment today and managed to avoid getting a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. So, excuse me, I haven't had a heck of a lot of time to work on that antenna yet.
Okay. no worries. Give me your Bozo number.
1098-10-908.
Yeah, the countdown guy. Okay.
I wasn't going to say it this time, but that's okay. Yeah, otherwise, no, I haven't had a chance to be in the shack. I did get a bigger tripod, and I'm probably going to be trying to put up a taller pole outside, so I should be getting up about 15 to 20 feet with all of my VHF and UHF antennas. So hopefully I'll be able to come across a little bit stronger there, with or without the Quaggy.
Yeah, okay. You'll get it working. I'm sure you could probably just drive it the way it is. It'll probably work better than anything else you've got.
Yeah, I know, and one of the things that I read about it was they said, because I cut everything to exactly the same lengths that they specified in the instructions, and they said, don't worry about the mismatch. It's not that big a deal, and I'm kind of a perfectionist, and so I didn't like how that sounded, and I decided I was gonna try and make it work right. But we'll see. I might throw it together and put it up there and see how it does.
Yeah, well, you were talking to the guy that designed it was an old pro, and he knows that VSWR is not terribly important if you get the other elements correct. And the feed point impedance, as long as you can drive some power into it and it doesn't shut down your radio, you're fine. Don't even sweat it, at least in the beginning there. Anyway, good deal, and we'll look forward to hearing you perhaps trying it tomorrow, if you can just set it up temporarily for tomorrow.
Yeah, if I'm going to be out there messing around with everything, I'll see what I can do. Maybe late in the afternoon I'll have it all together enough to at least get it on the pole and see how it works. So, all right, thanks a lot, Mike. I appreciate it. K6MYC in the group, KB6LEE.
Okay, well, as of tomorrow, you should have a beacon. The beacon for 432 is on 432.260. 432.260. Write that down. I think it'll be on an egg beater and maybe running 10 to 25 watts. Let's find out from Frank. Frank, are you copying Lee over there in Watsonville?
Yeah, Roger, I am, Mike. And the only way the beacon comes on tomorrow is if I stay home and concentrate on getting it done. If I come down there, I won't have enough time. Over.
Okay, I thought you said you had a feed line on it.
Well, there's a feed line hooked to the antenna, but it's just on the antenna. It hasn't been routed into the house. The other end hasn't been put on. I have quite a few steps left. I got about probably at least 4 hours left to be 100% operational. I got to move batteries in. I got to move the solar controller in. I got to get the keyer programmed. I got quite a bit of stuff left to do. Over.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Never mind. He'll get it on so sometime through the weekend. Lee, maybe you can look for it over the weekend. I'll try to give you updates as of tomorrow night, although I don't think he'll get a chance to get very much done because he's going to be here tomorrow. And so it'll be sometime through the weekend or Monday, and we can give you full details on it on 6 meters on Monday. Over.
All right, that sounds good to me, and yeah, I guess that was Frank out there. I could hear him pretty clearly. Not a real strong signal for me right now, but yeah, I could get him pretty clearly. So yeah, copied all of that. All right, well, thanks a lot, guys, and I'll turn it back over to you, Mike. K6MYC from KB6LEE.
Well, the reason I wanted to see how strong Frank was, he should be equivalent to me. Frank, have you got power on, or you pointed at him?
Yeah, I just peeked on him a little bit, and I'm running about 800 right at the moment. How copy, Lee? Over.
Well, I do copy you, but again, it's not showing anything on the S meter, and I'm not sure if that's something on my end as far as having my radio set up properly or whatever is going on. Mike is coming in here at S9, a little bit over S9, so it's the signal strength is not even close, but readability is quite good, well above the noise, and yeah, quite clear.
Well, I'm trying to figure out why he doesn't have as good a path to you as I have. We're baffled by that. You should hear Frank very close to the same signal strength as me, because he's running a little smaller antenna, but he's got almost 1,000 feet of altitude on me. So there really shouldn't be any real difference. So we're struggling with why Frank's not stronger for you. I'm running a little more power, maybe another 3 dB, but that's not going to show up that way for you. So S0 to S9 doesn't make sense, Frank.
Yeah, very good. Let's see. Okay, let's see here. Bring it on up a little bit. Okay, there's a full kilowatt right there. A full kilowatt. I wasn't quite up there yet. W6 BBS with a full kilowatt, over.
All right, W6 BBS, KB6LEE. Again, that really didn't have much difference there. Didn't make much difference there.
Hey, Mike, I didn't catch who Frank was talking to, over.
Swing the beam around because the width, the path width on the beam is pretty wide as it is. So I'm not sure, unless I'm getting some really funny path coming in to pick you up where, you're 40, 50 degrees off, I just can't see any difference.
Okay, very good. Well, you are not moving my S meter either, but 100% Q5 copy. So just one of them weird things with the elevation or knife edge or something, Mike, is all it can be, over.
Yeah, well, I'm just concerned that he's not going to hear the beacon, because if you're that far down on 2 meters, it's only going to be worse on 432.
Between you and me, because I think you're a little bit further north than what Mike is, and maybe there is some little tiny window that he's poking through, and I've got some other obstruction between. Maybe I've got just a big redwood or a sequoia tree in between us.
Yep, anything's possible. Okay, well, we'll see how it goes when I get the 432 beacon up.
Okay, very good, Lee. Thanks so much, and good luck on it. And we'll talk to you. We'll talk to you on Sunday night and give you get your details there, and then we can maybe try the thing again with Frank, and maybe by that time he'll have the beacon running, and you'll have the Quaggy where you can swing it in the same direction and take a listen. It's for your information, Rob. It's KB6 Lima Echo, and he's in the area just east of Watsonville. Are you copying him at all, Rob? I don't know where Rob's going tonight. Is he running back and forth up and down the stairs, Rob?
Rob, are you hearing Mike KM6SRR?
BBS is S5 here, and Mike, you're about 10 over 9.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Frank must have some kind of a blockage there. I don't understand it. See, he's higher than I am, and he shouldn't have any blockage. He looks all the way across the valley, I'm sure, from where he is.
Yeah, I can sit here and see the coastal range from in front of the house, so it's kind of baffling to me as well why when I get in this particular area that it's a little, I don't hear as well as you do.
Anyway, thanks for the report, Tom. Rob, are you back?
Roger, yeah, I was trying to monitor both 10 and yours there. I guess, was Frank talking to Lee, KB6LEE?
Roger. That's our latest check-in here. We haven't gotten to the Bay Area yet.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to keep a log here. I've got current with the Bozo Net IO, so we're going good.
Okay. Very good. All right, Lee 7-3. We'll see you Sunday night. Good luck with everything, and if you have any problems, don't hesitate to call me. I'm going to be around all weekend.
Roger. Thank you very much, Mike. K6MYC in the group, KB6LEE.
And I'm a local beacon if you need me, KW6S.
There you go.
Thank you, Tom.
Somebody's got a mic open with something playing in the background. I think I'm hearing the streaming. Okay, let me get into the Bay Area here. There's the low end of the Bay Area. Bay Area, Bozo Net, K6MYC, standing by.
KB6 WSC.
WB6JNN.
W6 PQL.
Okay, KB6 Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie, got you, Mike. I tried last night on 1296, but I never heard you, and nobody else seemed to hear you either. Were you on?
Yeah, I was on, but I later found out my antenna was turned the wrong direction because of the wind. So I think Jim could hear me, but you couldn't, and I couldn't hear you anyway. So, oh well, KB6 WSC.
Okay, no worries. I can check you in. I'll get the sheet open on the desk when I get into the other end of the house there. Good to hear you. And Jim, pick it up, and then shoot it over to PQL. WB6JNN. Go ahead, K6MYC.
Yeah, okay, Mike. It's WB6JNN. Well, you got a good strong signal. About 5 over 9 tonight. And I was hearing Frank about S6 or 7 for quite a while, but it's beeping. Oh, my phone is beeping. Anyway, good evening, WB6JNN.
Thanks, Jim. Thanks for the comparative report. We're trying to figure out what's blocking Frank over that way. We'll probably have to run a Google thing on it and see what the hell's going on, because he should be at least as strong, or nearly as strong. I got more antenna, but we're running comparable power. I've got a 19XXX up at 107 feet, but that is not the difference. Height's not an issue, I don't think. And he's got a 2M9, so it's 12 dB versus 16 dB of antenna gain, and not enough to make the kind of difference you guys are seeing. W6PQL, K6MYC in the group. Go ahead.
Yeah, hi, Mike. I'm trying a little bit different audio setting on this radio tonight. When I listened to myself come back on the live stream, it sounded like this setting right here. Here we go. Oops, I didn't get that setting. But there it is. That's how I usually have things adjusted right there. And all I did was add a little bit of treble like this. They got a little bit of treble in there now, so I don't know. Which do you prefer?
Well, it's smoother without the treble, but you're so strong it doesn't matter.
Okay, yeah, I'm getting different reactions to it. But I thought I could use just a little bit more in the mid-range, and that's why I boosted the treble some. Nothing new to report here other than I've got some, I'm finishing up some RF decks for 900 megahertz. I use the same device that I'm using on 1296, and they put out about 700 watts, and not very many people interested in those because 900 isn't one of those bands that's used by anybody except those of us in Region 2, but I thought I would make some of those anyway, for lack of anything better to do. K6MYC, W6PQL.
Well, there's a lot of people that would like to have 1296 power, but I don't think they can. A lot of people are put off by the. That's not that they can't afford it, but how many people are they going to work? That's the problem. A lot of these guys that could use it and have 9700s would be better off with the 100 to 150 watt thing that you did way back when. I don't know if you're ever going to go back to that, but I think that would be very, very popular with all the 9700s out there.
Well, I've got those devices aren't available anymore. No, this is for 900 megahertz. This is a separate product for 900 megahertz. There are some guys doing EME on that band. I couldn't do it from here. My God, there's so many weird signals streaking across the band over here. You'd never hear anything, but in other parts of the country, that's not the case. Yeah, you just run the same 600-watt RF deck at 28 volts instead of 50 volts, and you've got 150 to 200 out of it. That's the current.
Stand by, guys. Okay, no, I was talking about 1296, and yeah, it's a shame that there isn't a 200-watt device or a 100-watt device that's available for 1296. I guess they just can't justify it, huh?
Well, there is, but you know, it's the same cost as, or even a little bit more expensive than the one we use for 600 watts.
What does a 600-watt device cost?
Oh, it's around 200, a little over 200.
Yeah, well, even if you, well, maybe what you need to do is just think about a very bare bones, 400 to 500 water with that device in it. Just bare bones, no specials, simple chassis, just a lot of heat sink and real simple stuff. And I think that would be a good seller, something you could drive with 10 watts and get 100 to 200 out. And if you drove it farther up, then it would go more over.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. I'm not doing that anymore, though. I'm not building them except for some panels that I got left. Once I'm finished with those, probably be all done with ready-build amplifiers and just deal with RF decks and other parts after that. So that's the plan anyway.
Well, the RF deck would still get people interested. I think there's quite a few people that could take the RF deck, a functioning RF deck, and put it into a box and make it work as a brick.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Yeah, I think that's still a viable option.
I'll be making those for quite some time, so those have always been available. In fact, that's the target market right now for me.
Okay, give me a target number, just so I can tell people about it. For this much money, they can get a package that they can knock together on their own, but all the RF stuff is done for them. Over.
Well, the RF deck itself is somewhere around 700, 710 or something like that. But then there's all that other stuff. They have to scrape up a TR switch and control board, that sort of thing.
Oh, don't you have a control board that's optional?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, okay. It still looks like a bargain for me. As I would see it, for somewhere around $1,200 or $1,300, they could probably build their own and have all the stuff built. They just have to package it and get it going. I'll push it around and see if anybody's willing to do that. I don't know. We'll see. But there's a lot of guys that need power, just a ton of them. And some of them have talent. W6QUI in a Tascadero, I think, certainly could do something like that. He's capable. And there's others. So we'll see what happens. Thanks for that, Jim. I didn't want to talk too much business here, but I wanted to get some kind of a gut feel for what you had and what's available, because we want to get more people on with power. It's a power limitation right now. A Tascadero could hear K6ZMW, but with his 10 watts, ZMW couldn't hear him, and that's what we got everywhere. Over.
Yeah, pretty much. 10 watts doesn't go very far on 2 meters either, so you wouldn't expect it to go gangbusters on 1296. You should match power up there too. Of course, that's logical. Okay, very good. Carry on.
Thank you, Jim. Okay, who else do we have in the Bay Area? We got to move on. K6MIC Bozo Net.
W2WRX. November India.
WA6AX, no traffic.
Okay, 3 of you. W2WRX, that's Carl. Good evening, Carl.
Aloha there, Mike. How's everything coming along on your way?
Now, don't ask me questions when I'm writing your call down, and I forgot your number.
294 W2WRX.
I got that, Carl. No, everything's fine here. We're hoping for more and more rain. I've still only got about 4.5 inches since May, so we're not in a deluge mode by any means. Over.
Oh, roger that. Okay. Yeah, I figure, the rain gets pretty heavy, and you're up there in the hill. You know how it is, wash down all that soil out there. But I'm glad that everything's doing good there, Mike.
Yeah, roger. Thank you, Carl. Good to hear you. We haven't heard you for a month or so maybe I should say Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, and have a Mai Tai on me.
Yes, aloha, my friend.
Aloha. Okay, Mike, I know you're busy. I'll let you go, and I'll be listening in. W2WRX.
We are live streaming. You know that?
Oh, good. I like that.
You know how to get into it?
Yeah, I think I got it set up. I'll just go check my bookmark.
Okay, yeah, you can get it if you haven't got it bookmarked. You can go to the Bozo Net website, bozonets.com, BOZONETS.com. Scroll down past the preamble, and you'll see a link to a YouTube Central States, Central California VHF, Bozo Net, something or other. I don't know what it says, but it's pretty obvious. Once you get on that first page of the Bozo Net, you shouldn't have any trouble finding it. Click on that. You should take you over to YouTube. You'll get a picture of a clown. Click on the clown, and that'll get you to live streaming, and that's also a lot of stuff is all archived also, so you can go back and listen to yesterday's and the other bands and so on. But it's live streaming on all bands right now except for 6 meters. We haven't got the equipment yet for that. W2WRX 73 Aloha K6MYC.
Good deal there. You're 9+ over on my side. Take care. Aloha.
Aloha. Now WB6, is it KB6 WNI? Go ahead.
Oh, good evening, Mike. Yes, it's Whiskey Bravo 6, Whiskey November India 1090. And I'll keep it short because I'm still eating dinner, yes, this late at night, but your signal, as people have reported, is really strong tonight. I'm getting you about an S9. And so the new antenna is working, and we have about a total of 6 inches of rain here. So it's been keeping nice and wet. Anyway, Mike, nothing more, so I'll let you move on, but 73, and it's nice hearing you coming in so loud with the horizontally polarized antenna. K6MYC, WB6WNI.
Yeah, WB6 and WNI. Fine, Gary, thank you. And good signal down, not noticeably louder, very steady and very solid. Not as strong as QFO, but I wouldn't expect it. But sounds very, very good, and you've finally gotten to the point where I can lean back in a chair and relax and listen to you, armchair copy, Gary. Thanks much. Good to hear you, and I'm glad that Mike was able to help you get up and running there. Now, there was one other check-in, and I didn't get it written down, guys. I'm sorry. Who was the other one?
WA6AXX, no traffic.
Yes, it was you, Ed, I believe, and there was probably one more beside you. WA6AXX. Raining?
And Kilo Tango 2 Golf.
KT2G, I got you, Mark. Hang on a second. Ed, is it raining up there?
Oh, I'm not sure. It was earlier, kind of off and on today.
Okay. Very good. Let's see, it seemed like I had something I was going to ask you. Doesn't matter. We had pretty good check-ins last night. I appreciate your help on 1296, but we never did hear KB6W. Oh, for crying out loud. We never did hear Mike over there, but apparently Mike tried to check in but never got through. So you didn't hear him either, and I didn't hear him, and I don't think, well, he said PQL heard him, but Jim and I were having terrible time with the band, and he didn't mention to me that he had checked him in. Anyway, good to hear you, and we'll look for you Sunday, of course. WA6, Alpha X-ray. QR said the Bozo Net in the Bay Area, K6MYC, Bay Area. Okay, hang on a second. K22G. I didn't forget you, Mark. Hang on just one second. Who was that? Who was the other one? Was that you, Vlad? Who was the other station? Somebody checked in, and then, but I didn't get the call. Was it K6BBP, or who was it? Very basic audio. Go ahead. Somebody said something. Who was that? Come on, guys, give me a break here. Don't keep me hanging. Did somebody want to check in, or were you just talking to somebody else on the frequency here? I didn't recognize the voice. I have not heard that voice yet tonight. So whoever it was, I'd appreciate it if you'd give us a call sign. This is Mike. Kilowatt 6 Mike, Yankee Charlie, over.
Mike WB6ISO.
I hear you, Dennis. Hang on a second. Okay, can anybody hear that station when he called in on the live stream? Was anybody listening close enough to pick it up? I guess not. Okay, KT2G, are you back from wherever you were? K6MYC, good evening, Mark.
Yes, I'm back. Being super busy.
over the holidays, I went to visit some parts of U.S. Went to Nevada, I went to Louisiana, I went to Mississippi, and in Southern California. And then I went to the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. Right, so that kept me busy. And since I came back, it's been work, just to catch up on a ton of stuff. Yeah, and then plus a few nets here with Aries races. No, but other than that, everything's good.
Oh, you're sounding pretty good over here. Refresh my memory on the Bozo number.
Yeah, Bozo number is 863.
Well, I knew it was 800 something. I want to say 894, but I knew that wasn't right. So, thank you for 863, Mark. And okay, I'm being busy. Hopefully, it'll slack off a little bit now that the year has started and we're starting to get back into a normal groove. Are you approaching the normal groove mode?
Not yet. I still have to go up to the city a couple of these nights. Well, tomorrow, for instance, I'm up in the city. But yeah, no. So hopefully I'll be back in normal groove next week.
Okay, very good. Well, we'll certainly listen for you on Tuesday on your 1296 station, which is always a very, very solid, steady 10-watt station. Really good. Forward to it. Sorry we didn't catch you in the contest, but obviously you weren't on because you were doing other things. Busy. Was a contest this last weekend, and actually we had quite a bit of activity. We had our activity night. Unfortunately, 1296 got pretty late, and the band started to fall apart on us. But other than that, it was a good activity. Good evening to you, Mark, and welcome back to the real world. Haha. K22G, K6MYC.
Yeah, no, thanks. It's a real pity of having missed the weekend contest, but I'll try to make up for it on other contests. Good to hear you, Mike, and good to hear also the others on the net. K6NYC, Kilo Tango 2 Golf.
Okay, well, we're going to change the sequence of the Saturday night free-for-all that we always have in the contest. We're going to put 1296 first. It's been a dismal performance on 1296 when it starts at 9 o'clock in the evening. The band's starting to poop out by that time. It might not be quite as bad in June, but it won't hurt to be earlier. Then we can always go back to 1296 on each end of it as well, too. We can go 1296, 432, 222, and then back to 1296 at the late end also and see if the band changes. So maybe we'll do something like that. Thanks, Mark. 7-3. We'll see you soon here, Sunday night, hopefully. QRZ, anybody else in the Bay Area? K6MYC, Bozo Net. Okay, let's get right over to Martinez. K6 Echo Romeo Fox.
Yeah, good evening, Mike. Hello. Got a problem here.
Well, I can hear you clicking the mic, and I copied your good evening, Mike, so we've got you 199. Good evening, Russ, K6ERF, K6MYC.
Yeah, Roger, Mike. I just haven't got any audio. For some reason, the mic is not getting through the rig here. A new problem just developed just a few minutes ago. So, 73s, I'll catch you there next time.
You sound good now.
I can hear it coming and going, but we copied everything 100% except for the last 2 words there. So you're probably holding it together with a Band-Aid or something. Okay, see you later, probably tomorrow night on 432, perhaps, Ross 73. K6 Echo Romeo Fox, K6MYC. Gary, are you here?
Roger. Here is Kilo Echo 6 Quebec Romeo, Bozo 177, Charlie Mike 88.
Yeah, good, Gary, good signal. K6ERF, K6MYC, not K6ERF. KE6QR. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
No problem. Thank you for the QSOs during the contest. We had a fun time, made some contacts, and great way to spend a rainy weekend there.
Oh, it's good. It wasn't raining here very much. We had a little bit, but nothing that would have kept us indoors. In fact, I worked outside quite a bit. But was good to get on, and I took a break through the middle of the day. It was kind of overcast and muggy in the middle of the day, and not exactly rainy, but I just didn't get outside to do much.
Hey, we had a nice little band opening right towards the end of the contest. I worked a couple of stations in, I think it was Delta Mike 37, southern Arizona, around Prescott, Tucson area somewhere, and I worked one in EM, I think it was either 10 or 12 in Central Texas. All side band and all the great signals. Boy, that was an exciting moment there.
Yeah, we had an opening on Monday night here after the contest. The band opened up and we got W7 in Oregon and Washington and Montana, and VE6 and VE7's in here checking into the net. Over.
Oh, I'm going to have to drop down there and check that out once in a while. And that was on 50.140?
Roger. There's another net apparently that meets on that frequency that's called up there in Washington, and they were on there. They must start at 7 or 7:30 or 8. Because by the time we got there at 8:15, they were right in the middle of their net. It really was causing some confusion because they weren't doing a very good job of giving call signs, and I didn't know who the hell was talking in there. Over.
Hey, what time do you normally call Martinez area on the 6-meter night?
Oh, usually about 8:45.
Okay, very good. Okay, thank you. Have a great net. 7-3.
7-3.
Oh, Mike, I forgot to tell you, I got worn out working 6 meters the other day.
You did on FT8 or on sideband?
FT8 worked all about the Midwest down to California and some Canada stations. Got tired. I had to quit before the band closed.
Okay. Well, the band's been open every day for me. I mean, I looked at it this morning, and the band had FT8 was all signaled right up against the peak of the top of the spectrum again. Been that way 3 days in a row. So I got on and called CQ, and sometimes I get somebody. I got somebody today that came back, but he wasn't using good protocol, and I never could get it. It was a W6, but he was somewhere else. But I could never get his grid square.
It was exciting. To a point, you need a coffee pot next to the rig to keep things going.
There you go. This was all on sideband. So then, so through the course of the day, I kept hearing signals. I was working in the barn all day with a monitoring on 125, and signals would pop in, and I worked them. One guy in Texas was 25/9 with 100 watts and a 3-element Yagi. So I told him about 2 meters. And I went over and called CQ on 2 meters with the Buku kilowatt here for about 10 minutes, and didn't get anybody, but I was hoping that the guys haven't forgotten that there's E-skip that can happen, and when you start getting real strong 30 and 40/9 signals on 6, it's E-skip is there for 2. Over.
Oh, I understand, yeah, totally. It's just not the way it used to be some years ago.
Anyway, first good openings that we've had in January for many years. So this has been quite a January. Hopefully it'll continue on through the rest of the year here. Maybe we'll even get some good F2 in March and April here.
Yeah, Roger Net. Catch you next time. K6, we'll be clear and say goodnight.
Okay, 7-3 for now. Over to you if you're there, Ken, N6RO and W6 Sugar Whiskey, K6MYC.
K6MYC, N6RO 835. Nothing new to report, but the Martinez boys are loud and clear off the back here. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, very good. Well, you're loud too. No problem. And you heard my report on 6 meters today. It was just hopping and popping, and quite a few more people starting to show up on 125, which is good to see. Over.
Yeah, I'll give it a listen in the next couple of days.
Yeah, I heard. I actually went up and worked a guy. I didn't work him. He was long-winded, and I couldn't wait for him. I was a W7 WKF or WRF or something. I think he was up in Oregon, but he went up to 130 and started to rag chew, and I sat there and couldn't get a break in. I couldn't break through whoever he was talking to, so I just said, okay, and he finally faded out.
Oh, well.
Well, see, the guys I don't know if they don't care, but the E openings sometimes can be very short. They're very intense and or very weak. I worked a guy in New Mexico today. It never got up past S1 for him, and it continued, but he was running low power, so he could copy me. He kept coming back and giving me responses every time I'd send 73s. He'd come back, and I could get 73, you know. So, but those openings, that opening only lasted about 3 minutes to him, and then it was gone. The next thing was into Texas. So you got to be on your toes with your call and your grid square. A lot of guys forget to give their grid. You don't know where the hell to point for a W7.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Yeah, we got to retrain them. All the newbies. Anyway, thanks, Ken. Good evening to you, and we'll see you tomorrow on 432. N6 Radio Oscar. I'm a little past 4 inches of rain now, K6MYC. How about you, Steve?
Yeah, W6SSW. Yeah, it's too bad. We need to get some of those storms to run a little more towards the south. Some of that Pineapple Express to come in through the lower middle of the state for you. Yeah, we got a little over an inch of rain last weekend and another 0.3 or so last night. So it's slowly piling up here. Warm storms though, so a high snow level. But yeah, the local creeks are running a little bit muddy, and we should start water in the backyard here should start turning brown pretty soon, like last year.
Oh, very good. Well, we have. I went down and looked at the ponds yesterday. The upper pond has got. It's now 15 feet long instead of 10 feet long. It could be 150 to 200 feet long when it's full. So you can see it's just starting to get water in it. It's very deep, way down in there, but the water is in there. And then the pond down below, which we're creating, and now the dam is up where we could use another 8 feet before it got to the top of the dam. It's got water in it also, and it's coming in from two sources. It's coming in from whatever leaks through from the top one, and then a whole hillside from the east that feeds into it as well. So that pond could be actually more lively and more steadily filled than the original. Anyway, not much water in them, but at least it's starting to show something that reflects the sky over.
Yeah, so that lower pond you built this summer, and you said it's going to be 8 feet deep or so?
Oh, it's way more than 8 feet. When we get the dam fully in there, it'll be 20 feet deep at the face of the dam. It's a very steep area, and we're over the top of the waterfall now. The waterfall was where the water ran originally, and there's at least 10 feet, vertical 10 feet of dam, more roadway across that now, and it's still got to come up another 3 or 4 feet over.
Oh wow! Hey, you'll be able to throw some fish in there.
We're going to do that if we can just make sure that we keep enough water in it to keep them alive. Last year would have been no problem. This year is iffy. And the boys are chomping at the bit here. Let me get up and get Dennis. But good to hear you. We'll look for you tomorrow night, Steve. Find on your weather and water there. K6 W6SSW 793 K6MYC.
Okay, yeah, 7-3. Thanks a lot, and yeah, you guys sound good tonight from down in the valley there. W6SSW, check you, get you on 432 tomorrow night.
Okay, 7-3. WB6ISO. Sorry to keep you waiting, Dennis. We're just busy tonight. A lot of people checking in. Lots of news, of course, with the contest over and the 6-meter activity and all that. WB6ISO, K6MYC.
Well, I could understand being busy, K6MYC, WB6ISO, and a pleasant good evening to you. I listened to the contest. It didn't really seem like the activity seemed to be down quite a bit, so I don't know, maybe it was just me, but anyway. I did talk to Kent 160 and Dave 336. You might want to go ahead and check them in. I did want to try to apologize for Sunday evening. I did turn my antennas up there and was listening for the Whiskey 7 Mike Bravo. But unfortunately, the problem I'm having here, Mike, is these antennas I have don't have a real high front-to-back ratio. And unfortunately, I could hear signals trying to check in with me, but I couldn't copy them because, unfortunately, I could hear you and other people in the background still going. So it got very, very confusing on this end. Over.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. We stood by for quite a while waiting for you to call up that way. I never heard you call WB7W Mike Bravo. Over.
Oh yeah, I was on there, and I could hear signals up there, but unfortunately I could hear you in the background. I know that you didn't think you would be interfering with me, but I could hear you no matter which way I go up here, and so I know that's the same thing when you're working in the Southland. I try to be quiet because I know I'll interfere with you, but unfortunately I could hear you and some other people going on in the background, and it made it very confusing. And Dave in one PPP was pointing your way, and I asked him to relay to you and let you know. But apparently some confusion went on, so I just had to give up. So I apologize. I was trying the best I could, but like you said, when you got this signal going on in the background at the same time, makes it pretty hard.
Well, he should have been real strong for you. That's the thing. I wasn't too worried about it. If he had a good signal like he said he did from 7,000 feet, he should have been pounding into you. Apparently, he doesn't have the shot he thinks he has, because that's why I wasn't too worried about it. I figured if he's even got a pipsqueak of a signal, he was running 350 watts and a pretty good antenna at 7,000 feet, and he knows what he's doing. He's a good VHFer, so he knew what he was doing. Were you hearing Steve and Jerry?
Yeah, I could hear quite a few stations up there, and I was trying to get a hold of Rich there and Reddy and Jerry, and then I heard them. But like I said, what I could hear more was I could hear you and some other stations that you was working at the same time. And unfortunately, the signals coming in at that time up north really were not that strong. So it was just one of those conditions, and it happened. So we'll try the next time around. And like I said, it makes it a little difficult. You know, it's like if I get on here and you're trying to work the guys down in Southern California, or Steve down in Monterey or whatever. I talk to Steve in the mornings on 3959, then so he kind of checks me and lets me know down there. And I guess he said he's working on a little better antenna system of some sort down there. Over.
You're talking about toasted peanut butter?
Yeah.
Yeah. Going back to Rich, and I told Rich and Jerry about it, but mostly Rich, because I don't remember if I mentioned it specifically to Jerry, but I asked Rich to turn around and make some calls up that way. He should have heard this guy. I mean, they're only a couple 100 miles apart. Over.
Yeah, well, it's just conditions, and I could hear them up there, but the conditions that way was not all that strong like they normally are, but they were there. But it was very, very difficult. I just couldn't do anything because, like I said, I could hear you and some other stations trying to work you at the same time down there, and so I just finally had to give up the ghost. So I apologize for that, and if they were scheduled at it again, we'll try to do a little bit better, and we'll just say, hey, okay, everybody in the background, hush up for a minute, and we'll say, I'm going to put some antennas up, got a bigger, more front-to-back ratio, right?
You've got a good front-to-back. There's no problem with that. Most of the stuff that we hear from you, hear from me, and I hear from you is scatter. If I point toward the Sierras, if I go to Nevada, you're going to hear me back scattering out of the Sierras. I can't stop it.
Oh, yeah. No. You put a good signal in down there. You know, that's what you put it in there for. And, yeah, I hear you. And I hear the guys out of L.A. when you're working them down there and everything else. I do pretty good. But like I said, I can move the antennas up there. The only time I really have any difficulties at all hearing you is when I go to the east, when I'm putting the antenna the broadside of them to you, and then it gets a little more difficult there. But other than that, no problem at all. Anyway, I just wanted to check in with you and apologize. I wasn't able to stick around a little bit longer and make that kind of communication work up there. But if he's going to be there, do you know he's going to still be there, or is he just there on a temporary thing?
Well, it's a vacation home, but he's down there for, he said, a couple of months. He lives in Washington, but he usually goes down in that area for several months every year. In fact, he's going to make it probably more of a permanent home than it has been. But I suspect he wasn't there. He has not returned on 40 meters where I ran into him. I thought I'd get some kind of a report or a feedback from him, but he has not checked in, and I'm pointed up that way every morning. And I can work all the way to Washington State, so I know I would hear him if he were there, but he has not checked in at all on 40. So I suspect he missed the context and forgot about everything. Over.
Okay, I've got several stations I work up in that area in the mornings in the Oregon, Washington area. And even up in British Columbia, they're on 3959 there in the morning. Sorry about all that racket on the background. That's that 220 radio.
Okay, I should go, and we'll see you perhaps tomorrow night on 432.
Yeah, I will try to make sure I get here and check out the 432. And if you do contact Mike again, let me know if you get rescheduled up. And we will certainly try it again this coming Sunday evening. But do take care, and it's always a pleasure. K6NYC, WB6I. So, Bozo 8086.
Okay, and I'm very disappointed that he did not show up, because it would have been a good contact for the contest weekend. Even if he didn't propagate to me, I knew you guys could work him. You could work him, and probably 2 or 3 others in Sacramento, and maybe even the guys up in Carson City and Gardnerville and that area. Anyway, it didn't happen, and I suspect he just got tangled up with other things, or maybe something didn't work. But he said he had 350 watts from a Tokyo high power amp and good antenna, 10 element. I think it was one of our 10 elements or somebody's very good Yagi that should have gotten down without any issues, particularly from that altitude of 7,000 feet. All right, 7-3 Dennis, see you tomorrow. K6NYC standing by for Sacramento.
Okay, Mike, very good. And also the latest thing I've got on KD6BQ, Richard over there. I guess he's still out there with his foot problem and everything else. So if I hear anything or further reports, I will relay them on to you. Over.
Yeah, he expects not to be back in the shack for 2 weeks. He's just out of the hospital, but he's hobbled. He can't walk, apparently, on this leg. I don't know what happened, but it got all screwed up somehow. So it's not simple broken leg. It got infected, or a bone protruded, or I don't know what happened. We'll find out the real story, but anybody that had anything in the way of a broken bone should not be out of commission for 2 weeks. So it was serious, whatever it was.
Yeah, that's what I understood. Yeah, well, if I hear any updates, or if you hear any updates, please let me know if you would. And I know you're going to go to the Nevada area later on. But I say a big howdy-doody to N7 Whiskey Tango for me, if you would.
Roger. Okay.
You should have a very, very pleasant good evening. And all you people here in Sacramento, let's get checked in. The Bozo Net is open. Let's go.
756.
Here's 756. Got you, Darren.
Good evening, Mike. Good copy tonight.
I don't even get a good evening.
Okay. Good evening, Darren. We'll keep it short. Let me ask Rob. What time is it, Rob?
4:49 Zulu.
Okay. I've got to be out of here in 10 minutes here, so we got to go move along pretty good. I got to do a phone call from my doctor coming in at 9, I mean. Okay.
Good. Bill and John should be around.
I'm sorry, you doubled. I didn't get what you said. Darren, try it again.
I'm just saying, Bill and John should be around. So carry on. KJ6, KFB, and good evening, Dennis.
You better, booger.
Okay. KO6KD, K6NYC.
Yep, don't want to get in the way. Good evening, Dennis, Darren. Good evening, Mike, John. Good evening, anybody else you may be listening. KO6KD776. Check it in, check it out. See you in the morning.
Yep, we'll see you in the morning. Got sort of out of control there this morning with I finally just couldn't put up with it anymore. I couldn't put up with it. It wasn't that. I just didn't have anything to contribute, so I just went off and did other things. I had some phone calls to make and stuff. So after about an hour, I just shut it off. Over.
Yeah, Phil and I hung in there for quite a while, and then eventually I said, well, I got to because there were some other fellows that came in there, and anyway, and then Phil said, yeah, I got to get you, so we both very politely bowed out, and that was that.
Well, they could have been more polite about it. And this thing, they took over the frequency. I think they all forgot that we have that frequency, and all of a sudden it was all new people, and they were just going at it, and that was fine. They were accomplishing things, but it wasn't. It was very one-sided. So I was not. Again, I could care less about what they were doing with the audio, except to get Greg sorted out. And once we got him even close, and we were done. And everything else he was doing after that was gilding the lily.
Yeah, it was just more and more and more a greater exercise of futility, because then it's like, well, now that we got this done, well, why don't we try this, and well, let's try that, and so at any rate, yeah, that's fine. I went over here and looked out the window and felt I was doing something more constructive.
I'd rather be talking about politics than that. We can do that. But they could have gone off frequency because said, look, let's just take this down the band 5 or 10 and help me clean this thing up. But I think from Greg's standpoint, he was anxious to hear what we thought of it. But I think I told him about an hour before they quit that it was okay now, and I could hear him without leaning forward in the chair. Over.
Yeah, it's just he's just got the really, I don't know if it's his voice characteristics or what, but when I heard that the radio has an AM-C control, a mic and automatic mic, oh great, okay, well, and it is digitally processing the controls so that you don't have to manually adjust mic gain and compression. And I thought, well, no wonder the guy sounds like crap. But then again, hold on, wait a minute, back the truck up. You are on a Yaesu, and you sound great. And you know the guy who's got the best audio in town, that's Jim Heath. He has got the 101, and his audio is better than anybody else that I've ever heard on one of those radios. So it can be done. So what are you going to do? Anyway, I got out of there. Hopefully we won't have to deal with it tomorrow. In the meantime, good night. We'll see you then.
Who did you say has got the best audio?
Jim Heath, W6LG.
Oh yeah, he's done a nice job on it. That's good.
He's in my estimation, of course, I only live right down the street from him. He has got the most pleasant, natural sounding audio, and you know, whether he's talking to South Africa or somebody across the country, it just sounds terrific. It's just very natural, just like that guy Demon or Damon. He's not a demon, he's a Damon. Well, anyway, I thought he had extremely pleasant sounding audio too.
Yeah, Damon obviously works for a radio station. He's very, very informed on all that stuff. I think he's audio or an RF engineer at the radio station where he works or someplace. So he's in the business. He should know, but he really knew the FT100, FTDX 101 very well. I was going to ask him some questions. I got something that popped up on my screen, but I just I couldn't wait around for it. Well, maybe get him tomorrow. He'll pop in again. He's down in Lancaster, so he's really strong here. Let's see. Let me get up to John. John, let's see. We did hear John, and we made that contact on 1296, but it was very marginal. But at least you were there and pretty steady. So I think we made headway. And it was just probably pretty poor band conditions overall in terms of signal strength. And just the other thing is you just need to get some power there. That's why I was talking to Jim earlier. W6PQL still sells the RF module. That's a 600-watt module, but you can run it anywhere, and it's quite inexpensive. It might be something you want to look into, building your own, but with the RF module and a few of the other components that Jim also sells, and just packaging it yourself. KR6MR, K6MIC.
Good evening, Mike and the group, including Dennis. KR6MR, Bozo 759. Yeah, I was very, very pleased. I was able to hear basically everything you said very clearly the whole time you're pointing to the Sacramento area. Over.
Oh, good. Well, I was pointing up more toward you. I was pointing, another 4 or 5 degrees past to where Bill is where I get you. That seemed to be quite consistently in that direction. I went back and forth many times, and every time it would peak within 3 or 4 degrees of the same place. But it never got to be much beyond Q3 at the best, over.
Yeah, oh well. I'll get there one of these days. I'll figure out how to get some more power. And at the same time, keep my wallet from smoking. Best angle bearing for me is the same bearing you do for Reading, over.
Yeah, pretty much, within a degree or so.
Hey, question.
Yeah, within a degree or so, John. Frank's on here, W6BBS. Go ahead, Frank.
Yeah, I can't hear him. He's in and out, but he needs more power on what band?
1296.
Okay. I thought you guys were still talking about 40 meters, so never mind.
Okay. No, we're talking, he was in there last night. He's got everything mounted on the new tower that you took up there and set up for him. So he's got everything up and running now. Very neatly done, I understand. He did a spectacular job on the whole thing. It's very clean, very professional, and it seems to be working very well on every band. And 1296, he was in there consistently. I just couldn't dig him out. 10 watts to 600. He said now he's hearing me all the time, or at least pretty much all the time that I was talking, and that's the first time that's happened. So he's definitely made an improvement. Right now he just needs to get from 10 watts to 100, and he would have been Q5 the whole time, over.
Yeah, roger that. Well, where I got lost, I'm doing something else on the computer, so not paying a lot of attention, but you were talking to Bill, KO6KD, and about 40 meters, and then I guess that's why he faded away. You went on to talking to John, and I thought you were still talking to Bill, and that it was Bill saying he needed more power on 40 meters or something, and I could have maybe answered that for him, over.
No, at 1296, right, John? KR6MR, you want to get more power on 1296, not 40 meters, right, John?
That's correct. 1296, I can do 1,000 watts on 40 meters, or 800 or something like that. And hi, Frank, how you doing, over?
Yeah, hi, John. I can barely hear you, but you are coming in here a little bit. I'm doing pretty good. Glad you're moving forward on things, and sorry, I got nothing on 1296. I need that myself, over.
Yeah, okay, Frank. I'll let you go. And Mike, you've got a hit. I guess you still have to work Nevada. Anyway, I'll let you go. KR6MR, hope to hear you tomorrow night.
Now, Roger, we'll look for you. I'm sure we'll hear you. Thank you, John. 73 for now. I'll go to Nevada, and then we got to wrap this up. I got to get in the house. I'm expecting a phone call here. Okay, Nevada coming up.
How about Reading?
KD6SW. Go ahead, Reading.
Yeah, KD6 shortwave, number 145. Yeah. Hey, pretty good opening there on 6 meters there. I worked 3 ZLs all across the country. And Jerry and I tried for that other station up in Oregon, but for about a half an hour or more, and nothing, over.
Yeah, I don't think he was on. He must have forgotten about it or something, because with 350 watts at 7,000 feet, 15 miles on the other side of the border, you should have heard him like a ton of bricks, over.
Comment.
Yeah, well, we tried. We gave it a good shot anyway, so we turned the antennas around and just kept going at it there, and nothing happened. Anyway, we had a lot of fun on the contest there. I don't save any points or anything, but it was nice to at least work some stations out of the country here, over.
Roger, very good, Rich. And Frank's got a comment for you. Go ahead, Frank.
I don't know if you've talked to that guy on HF since that original day, Mike, but one of the things that happened on that day when we were supposed to listen for him is that we were running super late, and I may have him confused with somebody else, but there was some other net or something else that had to be done, and I think we were about a half an hour late to listen for him, over.
Oh, he might have been, but he still should have been in there. He wasn't there, and Dennis called him also. And I don't think he remembered a net, and he hasn't been on 40 since, so I think he just blew it off. Over.
Yeah, roger.
Okay, anyway, let's see if Jerry's there quickly, and then I'll got to get up to Nevada. KO6HS, K6MYC.
KO6HS 230, we're in here, Mike. Good signal up here tonight, over.
Yeah, good signal here as well, Jerry. I didn't work you in the contest, but it was sure good to get Rich in there and get that Charlie November 80 in the log. A lot of people enjoyed that. He was very, very good about working people.
Yeah, well, I signed him up for that because I wasn't going to be able to make it. I had some stuff going on and just could not make it this time. Usually we get in there and have a couple of contacts, but it didn't work out, over.
Yeah, no, I know. Family and other things get in the way. Luckily, Rich had the time to do it, so at least we got Charlie November 80 in the log books this time. And that was really, really neat. That was one of the highlights of the weekend for me, getting Charlie November 80 for the rest of the guys. Quite a few people worked Rich too, and he was heard pretty well. So that was good. Thank you, Jerry. I'm going to move on. I got a phone call that's coming in at 0500, and I'm running late. 73s, we'll see you Sunday night. KO6HS, K6MYC.
Roger, 73, see you later, KO6H.
It's 5:02 right now, Mike.
You know, well, it's not going to happen just like that, but Matt's going to come out and bring me the phone if it rings now anyway. Okay, I got to get Nevada, and we'll go in the house and QRT here. I'm going to Nevada now. Maybe it's too late for Larry. You ready? N7WT, KE7UQL, K6MYC. Anybody?
November 7, Whiskey Tango, 657, over.
657, and Dennis gives you his best wishes, 86, DWB6 ISO. And how's any word on Richard, over?
Nothing new other than what I gave you about the 2 weeks. Anyway, I've been listening to you all evening here. I come out here and just sat here and been listening. I heard Dennis in there talking to you and mentioned me and Richard. And I just want to let you know, we had for the last few days, it's been really wild on 6 meters. And today, everybody in the Bay Area was calling the TX5. And I don't know if anybody ever completed or not, but there's an awful lot of people. And then locally here up on the mountain in Virginia City, K5XI was calling the TX5. Also a TG9 out of Guatemala and FO5 out of the South Pacific. So there's a lot of stuff in, but nothing that I could hear. It was all everybody in the Bay Area and up on the mountaintop. We're hearing it, but nothing for here, over.
Just because you don't have a 9-element M squared at 1,000 feet up, over.
No, like I say, the guy that's K5XI has got the huge station up on top of Virginia City. He works the world when I don't hear anything, over.
Yeah. That's the way it is. Okay, good evening to you, Larry. I'm sorry, but I got to run. I've got a phone call coming in from a doctor that I don't want to miss here. I don't want to keep Dr. Dan waiting. So let me clear with you. We'll look for you tomorrow night, of course. Fine on the 6-meter stuff. We had quite a bit of openings here today all day long. I was working people on sideband intermittently. Nothing special stuff, just south and east of here, over.
Roger on that. Also yesterday when that opening was and K0 Echo Charlie beacon was just hammered in here, and I couldn't find anybody on sideband at all. Yet the beacon was hammered in here from Colorado, and nobody there. But today I heard just a few weak signals and weak ones yesterday, but nobody strong enough to work. N717.
That's funny because the JT signals are right up against the top of the screen here. They're just so strong they're pegging my meter up here, over.
Yeah. The only thing we had lots of was the FT8, which is wall-to-wall. Lost activity there. Anyway, I'll let you go. 7-3 and 7-WT.
Catch you tomorrow night. How about you, Daniel? KE7UQL, are you there? K6MYC Bozo Net.
272 KE7UQL.
Oh, you're in my shack with me. You're not up on the hill tonight, huh?
No, negative. Good contact on 1296 last night, and I won't keep you either. Go get your phone call. I'll just say adios, okay?
Roger, Daniel. I'm sure the other boys are hearing you as loud as you are here. Stay on here and make noise, but I've got to go QRT. Rob, if there's anybody else that checks in after Daniel, you can get with me tomorrow. I'm going to turn it over to Rob, KM6SRR in the group, K6MYC.
Okay, Mike, we got it. I hear you there, Daniel. I tuned a little better on you. You got a good copy on me, over?
Oh, yes, Rob. Very good copy on KM6SRR, KE7UQL. Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting you in the noise now, but I did hear some of that. KE7UQL, KM6SRR. Anybody else up there on tonight, over?
Evening up there, guys. WA60IB. See you and howdy.
Good evening, Ken, and pick up Larry, and I'll be out of here. 7-3, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. K6MYCQRT.
Big howdy to WA60IB, KE7UQL.
Yeah, good signal, good signal. Good evening to you there. Great to hear you, Daniel. And hope Larry's still in there, too. KE7UQL, N7WT, WA60IB.
5 and 9, Ken, 5 and 9 here in Gardnerville. Good signal. It's been really crazy on 6 meters the last few days, but it's kind of died now. Anyway, no chance of getting that TX5. Everybody in the Bay Area working, or calling it anyway. I don't know how many work them, but there's all kinds of states were calling that TX5 out of Clipperton. And also the F05 and the TG9 out of Guatemala were in today. So, but not for me. I have worked the Guatemala station before, but I wouldn't mind working the Clipperton for a new one on Mod 6. Over.
Yeah, very good. Well, yeah, that'd be great if he's heard in this area. That'd be great. But sometimes the Bay Area gets the guys that we don't get. They have to get one more hill to get over, and they don't make it sometimes. So we can only hope. Okay. Well, great. Yeah, I was out all day today, so I didn't get any 6-meter activity. But I'll give it a try tomorrow. See if maybe we'll be lucky and have another day of it. So 7-3s, you guys. Have a good evening up there. KE7UQL, N7WT, both good signals. WA60IB. Bye-bye.
Okay, Ken, by the way, 2 days ago, we had an opening for 2.5 hours in the ZL, New Zealand. It worked a bunch of New Zealand stations on 6 meters. 73, N7WT.
Yeah, that's a good opening. I haven't worked ZLs in a long time on 6. So, yeah, that's what happens when you're busy. I can't stay on the net. Don't know when it's open. All right, take care. WA60IB.
Yeah, 7-3 and 7WT.
Good luck, Ken, and good night, Rob. KE7UQL, 7-3.
7-3, Daniel. KE7UQL, KM6SR. Okay, Ken.
Okay, Rob. Good night there. Take care. WA60IB.
Did you want to try to get some late people in some other areas there, over? WA60IB, KM6SRR.
Yeah, go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, did you want to try to get some late check-ins, like from the Bay Area or something, like Mike goes down and gets?
If you want to head that way, go ahead. Yeah, I'll follow you down.
Okay, yeah, I can't hear him very good from the Bay Area because I got some dirt in the way. I usually at the end go down and pick up Eddie, so I'll do that too. He's down in Porterville, over. Okay, I'm in the Bay Area. 2-meter Bozo Net, late check-ins. KM6SRR with WA60IB standing by.
Okay, yeah, Bay Area. Anybody, any late check-ins for the Bozo Net? WA60IB and KM6SR, over. Nada.
Okay, I'll go down and try Eddie in Porterville then. Thanks.
Okay, real good. Take care. WA60IB.
KE6BK, Eddie, you on tonight for the 2-meter Bozo Net? KM6SRR, standing by. KE6BK, Eddie, you on tonight for the 2-meter Bozo Net? KM6SRR, standing by. Well, nothing heard. What do you say, Aaron, K6USY, KM6SRR?
I'm here. Sorry. You caught me in the middle of typing an email.
Okay. I've been taking your suggestion and putting all the call-ins in as we go, and it works pretty good. I just got to sort it out, make sure that works. Over.
Oh, very good. I'm glad that's making it a little bit easier for you. Don't want you to have to work too hard when you're not on the clock.
Roger. I sent all the rest of them over, so I'm all caught up except for tonight. But he had a late check-in for last night, so I wonder if that makes any difference if I send it or not. Over.
Well, that's up to you. If you wanted to resend it or whatever, just know that you have it in your notes.
Yeah, unless Mike requests, I think I'll just keep it in my notes there. I don't want to keep sending all the Bozo IO guys a bunch of repeats and stuff, over.
Yep, and then I saw you sent one out for Sunday too, and Mark said we didn't have one, and I think that's a good idea to to tell people that hey, we weren't there.
Yeah, if they're wondering and can't find it, they kind of wonder why, and so I thought that would be, just a little blurb, and they'd understand what's going on. Over.
Yep, Roger. Alrighty, well, I think I need to get out of here. I need to make a phone call as well, so I'm probably going to drop the stream here. Hi, Ken, if you're still in the shack. Man, he just up and disappears.
Yeah, he's got a lot of stuff he's doing, so that's understandable.
Oh, yeah, no worries. Well, we'll say 73 to all those listening in on YouTube. I will drop the stream here in a couple seconds here, and then I'll sign off with Rob, KM6SRR, K6USY, DMO6. Good night, everybody.